time to switch gears from politics and hit the open road, whether you drive on the right or the left. So buckle up, check your mirrors, and hit the gas. It's time for Burnin' Rubber with Ligotti and the Car Doctor.
Hey, we love him. He's the best. Yeah, it's Joe Ligotti here with, of course, not only my buddy, but the smartest car guy I know, the Car Doctor himself. You can hear him every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Here on WROL. It's John Paul. How are you, Mr. Paul?
Fine, Joe. And it's first day of spring. It's a nice day out, I think. I've been out in it, some of it. It was nice to see some blue sky and a little bit of sunshine before. I don't know, what's it going to snow on Friday or something?
Don't even say that.
Yeah.
Is it really?
I don't know. Weather, some kind of weather.
Shame on you,
Friday.
you spreading vicious rumors.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I'm seeing possibly a few flakes mixing in.
There you go.
Let's not blaspheme on the radio. I hate snow. Anyway,
me too.
How are you?
I'm good. And yourself?
All right. Did you spend a very nice St. Patty's Day?
I had a pretty quiet St. Patrick's Day. I wasn't feeling quite perfect, but by the end of the day, my wife cooked a lovely corned beef and cabbage. So
there you go.
So, yeah.
Nothing like a little cabbage to get everything working again.
That's right.
All right. Hey, listen. All I can tell you is, I was with the Crazy Irish guys, as you know, working with them.
Yeah.
I'm just tired watching Johnny Costello and Bobby. I mean, they're just fantastic.
They're maniacs. They absolutely are. They're high energy. And Johnny works like 3 jobs. I don't know how he does it.
I don't either. Anyway, we have some car stuff for you today. It says here that an Aston Martin now. This is big, we've talked about this before. Electric cars are going to be, no matter what we say, a thing of the future. And I guess the Aston Martin that James Bond was famous for driving is now going to be battery-powered in his next movie.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, Aston Martin, the whole thing about, there's going to be some rules changing in London where to come into the city, either you have to pay a big tax or you have to drive some kind of alternative fuel vehicle. So it doesn't surprise me that they throw an electric Aston Martin in a James Bond movie. Unless it has an ejector seat, I'm not all that interested.
Huh. Yeah, didn't that car do weird things like put out oil slicks behind it?
That's the original one, the original DB5, the Aston Martin DB5 that was in the first couple of movies.
Right.
It had rockets, the spinners that held the wheels on spun out and could shred the bad guys' tires.
Oh, that's right too.
It had the license plate that spun around, so you didn't know
who he
was.
Didn't
know who he was.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it was. All the stuff that any kid wanted to do to their car.
Hey, now, of any American car that is the most expensive American car, what would you think? And this is it's misleading because you can open it up to any vehicle here. Take a guess. It is an SUV, and I can't even do that to you. That's cheating. Because I said American car, it's actually the Mercedes-Maybach GLS, and it will list for $171,000 next year, okay? And it's the ultimate luxury concept vehicle. Do you hear anything about this Mercedes?
All I know about Mercedes a few years ago came out with the Maybach line, which kind of goes back to days of old with Maybachs, and they were super ultra luxury. In fact, the limo services would say, you aren't riding in a limo, you're riding in a Maybach. It's just a top of the line Mercedes. I don't think the new ones are as fancy as the ones that came out a few years ago they really wanted to be competitive with Rolls-Royce and Bentley, and they were supposed to be something special. I have only been in one once several years ago, and it was, like all the luxury cars, whether it's a Rolls-Royce or a Bentley, first off, more than my house is worth, and secondly, it's I don't they don't do it for me. I guess if you have a driver and you're sitting in the back and having some Grey Poupon and you have two blondes with you, I guess it's a good time, but just not the car for me.
Listen, can we put a brunette in there for me because I'm more of the dark haired woman.
It's fine. It's fine.
Thank you. Fine. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we could go together. They're pretty roomy.
Now, you are the most knowledgeable guy I know. So the reason why, and by the way, I've never sat in a Rolls Royce. My cousin, don't laugh, he actually owns two of them.
Oh.
I know. But why couldn't it be on this end of the family, right, John? Anyway, yeah, he's a car collector. He has a Rolls-Royce Dawn convertible. So what does that car go for, do you think?
I have no idea. Every time I hear the word Rolls-Royce, I just think, 250,000 and up.
Yeah, right on. I hear you. I don't even know. Someday I'll get a ride in it, unless it has a fully stocked bar in it. I mean, certified pre-owned deals. You know how you can buy cars on Car Gurus now, and you can do this, True Car and all these other ones. Mm-hmm. And you can save a bunch of money. But then you see, certified dealer pre-owned cars, CPO vehicles. Are they worth it? This article I'm reading says absolutely, because they're checked from front to back. Plus, they're warranted pretty much like a new car, and they stand behind those because they're certified, because it'll save you money in the long run. Do you believe that?
Sometimes.
Okay.
What happens is certain certified pre-owned cars do go through absolute full checkups, and sometimes what happens, they have 20,000 miles on them, so they put new tires on them, new brakes on them, put a new battery in it, so it feels like a brand new car. And what they do is, when they get the cars, and they're buying them from the auction just like everybody else, but they're buying the really top of the line, best ones that are out there, the ones that have the best history. Mm-hmm. The problem is, sometimes all certified pre-owned is they hang a card in the window and say it's certified pre-owned,
really?
and they warranty it a little bit longer, and they take their chances that it's not going to come back. So it really depends on who the manufacturer is and what it really means to be certified pre-owned. So some of them, like I said, some of them, they really are the best cars that are available. Sometimes they're not. I looked at when I was out car shopping last year, I looked at a couple of certified pre-owns. Now, I'm looking at a completely different car. I'm looking at, I'm not looking at a Rolls Royce or a Bentley. I'm looking at a lot cheaper car. But I looked at a couple, and they're like, it had one new tire on the front of it. I'm like, well, this is all-wheel drive. It's supposed to have 4 matching tires. And all the sales guys said was, well, that's the way it is. And I'm like, well, what kind of certified pre-owned is this? You obviously didn't go through the car. You just put it out here, washed it, and put a for sale sign on it. So it really depends on who the manufacturer is. So I tell people, generally a certified pre-owned car might be worth, another $500,000, maybe even a couple $1,000 more than one that isn't, because it does have more warranty that goes with it. But ask them what certified pre-owned means.
Wow.
What did they really do to the car? What does the warranty really? Are they really stepping up the warranty? And are you really getting a better warranty and a better deal? If you're not, keep looking.
So technically, there's no government standard when it comes to them being able to say certified pre-owned. It's just a sales pitch that these dealerships came up with.
Yeah, it's a sales pitch that the manufacturer came up with, and the sales and the dealer can go by it. I've even seen some dealers that say this is a certified pre-owned, and I said to them, well, who certified it? And they said, well, we did. So I said it's not. I said it's not. It's not Honda didn't certify it, Toyota didn't certify it, you certified it. Yeah, it's one of our personal certified pre-owned cars. So I was like, well, then that really doesn't mean anything.
Really?
So,
I agree.
Yeah, so you have, just because it's got a CPO tag hanging in the window, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. And then sometimes you have to look at the used car, there'll be a used car window sticker, and it may have something added onto it that makes it sound something special, and in fact it isn't. So it always makes sense. And you mentioned True Car, Car Gurus, IC Cars. Those are all used car marketplaces. Look at them, compare them. The internet prices tend to be the best price out there, better than when you walk in the door. Do your homework ahead of time and see what's out there. And you can get certainly a fair deal, but just know what you're buying. And I always tell people, it sounds kind of goofy when I say it, but when you car shopping, buy with your head, not with your heart. There's a million cars out there to look at, and just because you saw the red one that kind of made you feel good, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Go to someplace else.
Wow. I would have thought that when they said certified pre-owned, they had to go through a certain, check and safety stuff, but I guess not. But
sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Like I said, you got to do your homework.
And it's also, I would imagine, the reputation of the dealership too. So,
right.
If it's Herb Tarlick in his plaid pants and leisure suit with the white belt and shoes coming out with a cigar, chomping on it, saying, "Oh yeah, that was only driven by a grandmother to a mosque or a church on Sundays,"
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny. There's a couple of comedians, and they go by the name of the Jerky Boys, and they do these phony phone calls. And they called the dealership one time, pretending the dealership had a help wanted sign out, and the guy said, "Hey, I could sell anything. I could sell anything." I slammed their head down on the hood until they're ready to buy. And the guy said, "Well, we don't do business that way." And he goes, "No, I can sell anything." And he said, "Well, why don't you come in and let's talk?"
I love them.
Yeah,
I love them. John Paul, why don't you tell everybody about your very important show that has a lot of great information on Saturdays, and then how to get a hold of you. And I'll tell you one thing: if I'm out shopping for a car, I'll buy you a big steak. You got to come and kick the tires with me.
If you bring me to your friend Nikki's restaurant, I'll go.
I'll bring you to any one of them.
All right.
Here you go.
Yeah, thank you. And you can tune in Saturday morning at 8:30. We're going to be talking the new Ford Ranger pickup truck with some folks from Ford. And, of course, you can always email me at jpaul@aaanortheast.com. Follow